Hello lads and lasses and welcome back to the channel. So today we have some transfer news regarding some incomings. We have the worst kept secret alive finally get released. Obviously it being Ashby. He is going out on loan at Swansea. He's the only outgoing we've got currently. New outgoing. We've got Kuol, who's again in transfer talks with a loan to Volendam. I spoke about that ages ago now, but that's finally getting sorted out. That should be sorted out with by next Friday, I think it is. Yes, we're all here for the incomings. That is what we want. Before we get into any of that, though, do it down below. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 200 before the end of the year. And while you're down there, hit that like button. Turn those notifications on. Bob's your uncle. Let's get into these transfers. So the first transfer, we are looking obviously for a right-sided centre-back. It's a position we need to improve on. We need some pace there. We just need the extra bodies really. We have been linked with someone. Well, we've been linked with a couple of people. Umar Soler is someone we've been linked with. I mentioned him in yesterday's video, which I'll card that if you do want to go watch it. Then I would suggest going to watch it. I talked about a few centre-backs. None of them that I'm going to talk about today were on that list because none of the ones on this today make any sense in my opinion. The first one being Edson Alvarez, the defensive midfielder for Ajax. Now, the fact he's a defensive midfielder isn't that much of a bother. He also plays centre-back. That's fine. I don't really care about that. That's not the issue at hand. The issue at hand is he doesn't fit the sort of direction we're going in. He's slow. For a start, he's not the quickest, so he would just be another Shaw. We're looking for a bit more pace at the back, and that's why the players that I personally suggest, that people have been suggesting, they're faster players. They're players that can keep up with others. They're, in my opinion, better players that fit the system we're going to play a little bit more. He's also £35 million, which it's not that expensive. He's 25 years old, so he's still slightly on the younger side. His birthday's in October, 5 days before mine. Lovely. It's good that has no importance. But 35 mil, he lacks the pace. I don't think he's worth the signing. I think we should actually move on to someone a bit cheaper, who's a bit younger. Or if we're wanting like youth, like Antonio Silva, pay the 45 million or loan him, obligate to pay in at the end of the season. That's something we can do. It's something we're going to be looking to do for another player potentially. The second centre back that I wanted to talk about is Joachim Andersen. We've been linked with him for ages now. He's worth 30 mil. I've heard figures as high as 35, which is how much we want to be spending. How much he's been quoted at. Utterly ridiculous. He's 27 years old. He's also another slower player. He's not got the pace that we're looking for, and the fact that we pay 35 mil for a 27-year-old when we could pay the likes of like 15, 20 for 23-year-old, and we could pay about 40 mil for a 19-year-old. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think he improves this side. Those two signings aren't the kind of signings that are going to progress us in the future. Now, if we were buying Edson Alvarez to strictly play as the number 6 so we could push Bruno up the field, that would be fine. I would be okay with that. His lack of pace would only be a slight concern. The fact that we want to bring him in to play centre-back, though, is the concern, because he has that lack of pace compared to everyone else. Those two transfers don't make any sense, and I'm hoping that the links to Umar Soler are a little bit more solid than just potentially agent talk, because we need this kind of player. We need the Umar Soler, we need the Lacroix. I mean, I've put a tweet out not long before this. I'll pop it up on screen if you want to follow us on Twitter. Again, that's in the description. But we don't have to go to these kinds of players anymore. We don't have to see Joachim Andersen as a really good signing for this season. We can get the likes of Soler, we can get the likes of Lacroix, we can even, if we can, spend a bit more on the budget. I mean, if we're going to be paying 35 mil for Joachim Andersen, why can't we just stick another 10 mil on that? Pay the 45 mil for Antonio Silva, or pay the 40 mil for Scalvini. These are better players. who fit the direction we want to be going. And this is a step backwards to where we are going. It doesn't make any sense at all. Lewis Hall is off the table for us. There's no chance we were getting him. And that is further proven today of reports saying that he looks to be going on loan to Crystal Palace. Wouldn't come on loan to us, as we are seen as now a rival, a top 4, top 6 rival. So we do not want to be giving your best players to other top 4, top 6 teams. So he's going to Palace, getting that Premier League game time. It's a shame we couldn't get him. He would have been a good player forward to have on that left-hand side. So that's all the rumours and that we have today. We do have Livramento, of course, confirmed coming to Newcastle. He will be having his medical today. It is 6 o'clock at the time of recording this. So by the time I get to upload this, I'm sure we'll have some news. Like, actually, we're in talks with some random player we haven't really heard of. And he's on his way in as well. Who knows? Livramento might actually be confirmed by the time this video goes up, which I wouldn't be surprised, because that happened yesterday. I put yesterday's video up and Livramento was confirmed to be coming here. But yes, he's got his medical, so barring something going bad in the medical, Livramento still going to be a Newcastle player. And two last bits of news. I mean, we've already talked about Harrison Ashby. He is on the way out. Going on loan to Swansea, that's been confirmed today, but that's everyone knew. It's been known for like a week. It's the worst kept secret alive. Swansea's Twitter even tweeted that it was the worst kept secret. That was fair play from them. That was funny. I had a little chuckle. And then the last final bit of news. Jean-Clair Todibo, a player I said we could be looking at earlier on in this week. He has been asked about his services by Juventus, so that transfer, much like Axel Disasi, is looking less and less likely. Another player I think could fill in that role. But if we don't get him, we don't get him. Hopefully we get one of the other players I've talked about in the past days. But yes, a little transfer update for you. Nothing too much. We'll see what video I come out with tomorrow. It will probably just be in the afternoon after the Seller Cup game. As I said, I will be going to that, so I will be giving my review on the game. If you want to see who I think the first starting 11 is going to be, head over to the first upload of today, and it's there. I talk about it there. I also talk about the Sunday lineup. I think we'll see. I don't think Livramento will play it unless he's announced today, which is looking less and less likely. But yes, that is all. So I will see you tomorrow for that review. In a bit, pal.